So it looks like Reddit is very upset that Japanese X users are based.
Yeah, shocker.
Shocker. So
you could just say Reddit is upset. Usually people I think are on the right and call it a day.
Right. So now Reddit thinks the Japanese are alt-right or something. So for those of you who don't know what's going on X, within the last, say, month or so, they basically opened up the floodgates by allowing the Japanese to read English tweets and vice versa.
It's actually fun. They've been posting a lot of cool stuff too.
Yeah, because X is really big in Japan, right? So now all of a sudden, the Japanese and Americans and Westerners are talking, they're having conversations, and Reddit is looking at like, wait a second, the Japanese, well, they're not as woke as we wanted them to be. What's going on here? And this kind of goes along with I think the conversation around all of the translations being changed here in the U.S. because some people were offended.
I think it's funny because if you followed the news at all about what's going on in Japan, this should not be a surprise to you in any way, shape, or form. If you followed Japanese culture for any amount of time, this should not be a surprise to you in any shape or form. I don't understand how they're surprised.
Yeah, and Japan doesn't care. They don't care. This is what we've been telling people. They're trying to change their culture with all the translations and the what do they call it? Localizing. We're basically gonna change the translation of the media for our audience, our Western Portland, Brooklyn audience. And this is what Japan actually thinks. Now Japan can speak for themselves because now you can talk.
You're
to
not
them
allowed
directly.
to,
You gotta have a translator in there.
You're not allowed to speak.
Right?
They're not allowed to speak for themselves because it makes some people mad. Some white Karens are mad because they don't like it that when the Japanese people speak about their own culture, it doesn't fit their narrative.
So we're going to talk about this, and we're going to talk about the Japanese discovering Buc-ees. So they're fascinated by Buc-ees. It's
Our kids
weird.
got to start going to Buc-ees like a year ago. And they are also fascinated by Buc-ees.
We don't have any in the Pittsburgh area. I think the nearest Buc-ees is in Ohio.
They're building one in like Philadelphia area.
Well, that's on the
somewhere.
other side of the state. That doesn't help us. Just don't put any Wawas here. I got to tell you guys, I am not a Wawa fan. So
I'm sorry, Sheets over Wawa. Sheets.
I take Sheets over. There is okay. So for those of you who are not familiar with Pennsylvania, we got two big franchises of fast food / restaurant / gas station places. It's Wawa's and Sheets. And Sheets is more of a Western Pennsylvania thing, and Wawa's is more of an Eastern Pennsylvania thing.
Based out of Altoona.
Yeah. So there's like a line. It's like the Mason-Dixon line. It's the Sheets Wawa line, and it's somewhere around State College, I think. So like one side is all Sheets and the other side is all Wawa. But I would happily take a Buc-ee's, but unfortunately that is not the case. You have to go to Ohio.
Oh, they're working
sucks.
on it. Just give them time.
Buc-ee's will dominate. So we'll talk about that. So before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. Guys, get woohoo if you do.
Woo-hoo.
This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And if you haven't gotten enough of us, go out to more.clownfishtv.com. And for less than the price of your average super chat, you can unlock even more of us.
If you want to give us more, we aren't going to complain.
Oh, I'm not going to complain. No. But you guys, we've got some posts out there. We're trying to build a little bit of a life raft off of YouTube. So
we can
check it
say
out.
a little more over there than we can say here too. So that's nice.
Yeah, I can't say shit over here anymore. So we had a couple of good years where you could say whatever. And now we're right back to where we started from. So more.clownfishtv.com is more.clownfishtv.com. Thank you very much. You didn't have to do that, but we'd like it if you did.
So new to the show, they don't even know what you're talking about, but okay.
Yeah, I know, right? We haven't done live streams in a long time.
No.
So anyway, this is trending on X. Japanese users on X defend national identity against Western leftist accusations of racism. So Reddit is shocked that the Japanese aren't woke, basically. That's
I don't understand. Maybe because we've been covering for years, we've watched anime for years, and I mean, they always were progressive. There's a difference. People don't understand that. Like, they've had a lot of things in anime that was very progressive, but the being progressive and being extreme are two different things.
Yeah, I think just because we had Sailor Stars and we had, Ranma, everybody's like, oh yeah, Japanese are totally on board with it. And they're like, nah. Nah.
No.
No, we are not. So yeah, this is again, this is an X summary, and then we'll go out and see the offending post, which has been taken off of the Reddit, by the way, but we have a screen grab.
They took it down.
Yes.
Who took it down? Reddit or the person? That posted
Reddit
it?
took it down, I think, because it was racism.
Okay.
Japanese users on X. Japanese users on X praise responses to Western critics who label opposition to mass immigration or multiculturalism as racist, because Japanese have been posting a lot, and I have seen it. And they're basically like, hey, we don't like people are going to say Japan's xenophobic or whatever, but they're like, we don't want a bunch of outsiders coming into Japan and messing things up.
Well, that's
like it the way it is.
There's valid reason. Like we saw that, that Johnny Somali.
Johnny Somali. Johnny Somali is a poster child for why you don't let people in
these other content creators going in there and doing dances on their trains and everything else, which they're supposed to be meant to be quiet and quiet spaces and stuff like that. They're like these people coming from other countries, and then they're demanding that everything in Japan needs to change to accommodate them. At that point, basically Japanese are saying, go back home. I can't disagree with them. We had that one woman having a meltdown because they wouldn't let her be a model the way she thought she should be in Japan. Because where she's from, her beauty standards, and like, but that's where you're from. And you can't keep going to that. You can't do there what you do here, where you come in and demand everything changes for you. And even here, I think is getting ridiculous. You can't go to certain countries and then say, hey, everything that you're doing, you got to change because I don't like it. You can't go to like a Muslim country and say, hey, I want a pork chop. Give me a pork chop now because I said so. Or,
give me a pork chop now. Pork chop sandwiches.
A country that's like Hindu, and be like, I want a burger. You can, but I don't think it's going to go well for you. And it's just, that's what I don't understand. And I think they're getting tired of it in Japan. And then was it Jake Paul or was it the other one?
I don't know. One of the Pauls. Yeah, I think influencers are definitely, I think, souring Japan on outsiders, which is like, here's the thing. Like, I think the one thing that's really cool about everything that's going on is the Japanese are finally, I think, starting to realize how much Americans actually do appreciate, or a lot of Americans appreciate their culture, and they appreciate their culture because it's their culture. We don't want you to change your culture, right?
No, and you should go to their country. If you're visiting their country, which I recommend people should go visit the country. I want to go visit their country, but you do it in a respectful way. Like, they're actually blocking off temples and things down there. They don't want to, if you're not a citizen, you're not supposed to be going in because the way people are destroying things.
Yeah, I don't blame them.
And I don't blame them either. This is their culture and their history, and people are just, mocking it, and they're desecrating it, and they're being complete asshats. So yeah, do I think they have a right to be pissed about it and be like, no, we don't want this? Yeah, they do have a right to be pissed about it and don't want it.
So let's talk about what kicked this off. This is the post from Haruka Suzumori. As a Japanese person, I'm more than glad to lose all respect from leftists worldwide. We don't want respect from communists. We just want you to know that we don't like you.
You said the quiet part out loud.
Yeah, right. This is the post that got taken down. I have lost all respect for the Japanese after the translation feature on X. This isn't to generalize all Japanese people, but I'm a black 17 female. I remember being very fascinated and interested in Japan for a long time due to entertainment, music, and anime. I almost wanted to go there. I love the food, culture, and tradition.
Okay, then what's the problem? If you love all those things and you respect all those things, you're allowed to go there. You're just not allowed to go over there and take, your communism, Western ideals and try to shove it down their throats. No one's saying you can't like these things and you can't go visit. That's not what's being said at all.
Well, okay, so here's where it escalates. And this is why I think they took it down Reddit. So here we have a guy named Mike. Shut up, you conservative bitch. The Japanese person. No one cares about your opinion there, let alone here. You can keep your racist shit in Japan. We have enough of our own. We aren't like you. You come for one of us. You come for all of us. You can't break these lines with your bullshit.
Mike, I don't think you could probably do much of anything, if I'm going to be honest, but if you're looking at your picture.
And this person says, I said I don't like communists. Since when is communism a race?
Well, you have to understand, first of all, Japanese people, you have to understand, you can't expect rational thought or just thought at all from a lot of these people. It's just they get their back up about something. They're told it's a triggering comment, even if they don't. If it isn't, they're just because they're told it. That's enough that they're going to hate you and they're going to go out of their way to put you in your place because how dare you tell them? My thing is, don't let Mike come to Japan. Problem solved.
Yeah, right. Yeah, everyone out is a racist. Here's another Japanese. Is this a Japanese person or are you cosplay? No, you're not. Want to be journalist and polyglot. Anyway, said the lines they're referring to as their communist protest lines because they believe they're strong and united like a school of fish. Yeah, and this is where these people, these activists, inserted themselves into the translation pipeline because they felt that Japan was xenophobic and racist and whatever. So they're like, well, if we could just make it more progressive for modern audiences,
Yeah.
and they'll never know the difference, right? And then it's like, oh shit, now they can see what we're actually saying and thinking, what people actually think. And I think all of this is kind of going together because we're seeing more and more Japanese companies, especially with AI. They're like, you know what? We're just going to handle the translations ourselves because we don't trust the Americans to, authentically translate our media, because you have people like this that are inserting themselves into the process.
Mm-hmm.
So, you come from one of us, you come from all of us.
I'm just looking at this guy and I'm like, oh my God.
All right. This person, Salty Medic, says Japan should stay Japanese no matter how much and how loudly cry bullies and commies whine about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, look, if you actually watch their media, consume their media, you'll know what they think about a lot of things, right? Mm-hmm. Provided the translation hasn't been completely moved.
Again, I want to say they keep saying that they're being a super far woke to the extreme and being progressive are two different things. They have always done progressive stuff. They just aren't doing it to the level that you want them to do it.
Wow. Okay. So this is why they took the original post down on Reddit, right? But look at these responses. You want to talk? Okay. So this is what everybody talks about, the right or conservatives being super racist. This is some of the most racist shit I've heard. Okay.
This is typical for these people.
Yeah, right. They're not doing it to relate to Westerners. They're one of the most xenophobic countries out there. It's very much ingrained into their culture without outside influence. So many people seem to think that white people invented racism. Western racism is Bush League compared to Asian racism.
Oh, here we go.
Says your mom's clam chowder. The West is mostly casual racism. The East is where you go for ranked racism.
Wait till I tell you about what happens when you go to these countries that you white knight for all the time, and you're not straight, white or you're straight, whatever they are, male. Let me tell you what happens in those countries.
Oh my God! Now they're talking. Oh my God! Now they're talking about how racist Okay, so this is beyond parody. So we've got Reddit, which has been screaming about how racist white people are, and now we've got probably a lot of white people on Reddit talking about how racist Hispanics are in Florida. Now I can tell.
Surprise me.
It doesn't.
No,
it doesn't surprise me.
No, they're saying this though because it's like these people. Every time anybody, I've seen this over and over again. Anytime someone they don't like, it's getting a dog piled, and then they stand up. Okay, Gina Carano, she was great. She was the representation until she said no. For people who are all about acceptance and tolerance, they are the most toxic pieces of shit I've ever seen. We saw it with like the other actresses or whatever. Like I know when they were going after Chris Pratt and Zoe Saldana said that, basically tried to defend Chris Pratt. They started calling her racist names.
Yeah.
That's what these people are. These people are children throwing a temper tantrum. Now, does that mean that I think Japanese culture tends to lean towards Japanese culture? Yes, but that's their right. That's their country.
You don't like
it? Don't go there.
Well, you watched anime, so that means you have a right to tell them.
You own it, yeah.
You buy a Final Fantasy game or whatever. And this is why I think so many people in the West that are in the anime and video game industry are trying to change Japanese culture because they're like, oh, their politics and ideals don't align with ours. Oh no, they like pretty women. And wow, we can't have that. We got to change everything. And they basically talked a lot of these companies like Square, I think, into westernizing their games. And they listened to the wrong people, and those games crashed and burned. And Square lost a lot of money listening to these people because there's a reason we played those games because they were Japanese. But yeah, the people talking about like, you can say Cubans think they're white and they hate everyone else. We don't like those Republicans anyway. Racism level, Asian. Oh my God.
They're just, these people, I love it. These people are so mad that they just devolve into worse than what they're complaining about. And this is what always happens. Like these people are just so stupid. And it's like, are they allowed there? You go to like even China or, Korea or any other places. And like, you don't see a lot of super over top representation and film and shows either, because it's all, that's their culture. You don't get to dictate that. It's not like America. It's not like the West. It's not like over here. And you don't get to dictate this shit.
It's so wild. They're just going on.
But they took
and
this
on.
whole thing down.
They didn't take the whole thread down. They took the initial thread down, but you can see all the bullshit in the comments. Like, look, the Japanese have some preconceived notions about certain kinds of people. Probably, right? Probably.
Yeah, most cultures do.
Have you seen how they portray some, like, you're watching some anime and how they portray some white people? It's always like ridiculously big noses and yeah.
Or black people, they do portray them as like
I'm not okay. I'm not getting like, look, yeah. I mean, that's but what's going on is it's a bigger conversation. Basically, they're like, screw your communism. We don't have to change for you. We don't have to. And it's even, getting more granular down to the entertainment. They're like, well, look at them with their big titty girls. And
we've had to have different, prime ministers of Japan, different people, the important people in Japan, different studio heads and stuff come out and say, basically, we shouldn't have to change what we do for the rest of you. And I agree, you shouldn't have to, because people already like it as it is. You don't have to change it. I mean, it's your art, it's your comics, it's your storytelling, it's your, life that you're putting into these things. You don't have to change it for anyone. Does that mean I have to like everything you do? No. Does it mean I agree with everything you do? No. But does it mean I get to tell you what to do? No.
Yeah, this is crazy. Just, you know what? Here's what they tell everybody else. If you don't like them, if you don't like their media, don't watch it. If you don't like this account,
it's not for you.
It's not for you. If you don't like this account, mute this account, block this account. You don't have to interact. You're going out of your way looking for reasons to be angry about what the Japanese really think. And for the most part, most of the conversations I've had have been very pleasant, and most of them have been about food.
I
food.
Think
we talk about food.
I love the posts on X that they post all the time. I've been so happy about it because it's really cute, because they get so excited about our culture. We get so excited about the stuff they're sharing. I know everybody was sharing making the pancakes in the rice cooker, and everybody's all about it, like, yeah, this is great. And they love like cowboy culture in Japan, and they love Buc-ees apparently. Now you said.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that. But here's one more. This is one more.
Oh, okay.
Literally everyone on Twitter now loves the Japanese more than before because they prove to be super based. I don't get those who say they ruin their image when they literally gain tremendous aura. Yeah. And they're fascinated by food. So that kind of brings us to Buc-ees. They're like, what is the deal with Buc-ees?
Oh, that and barbecue. They've been all about wanting barbecue, like American, like, good Southern barbecue,
Yeah, I think it might be hard to get. Like, I'm not sure.
Some of them come over to visit, or they're like, where should I go if I come over, and stuff like that. And I think it's kind of cool that they're coming over to go to new places and try new things, and not just go to like the tourist traps. They're like, I want to go to America to try these things. I want to go find a Buc-ee's.
Well, Buc-ee's has barbecue. In fact, our kids swear by the brisket. They're like, it's the best thing that ever made. But it was the one conversation they were asking about cars, because I guess we don't really think about that. They're like, why do Americans have so many cars? Like, why do you have more than one car?
A lot of other countries ask that question as well, because they don't have the room for it.
No, and in our case, it's like people are like, well, I got my toy in the garage, and then I got my beater car, and then I got my good car, and then the wife has her car, and then we got like 4 cars. And you think about it, like, yeah, I mean, the average American family has like probably 3 or 4 cars.
That many? I think it's at least a couple, but if it's 3 or 4. But here's the thing. They don't understand, too, in all these other countries, we don't have, like, the bus networks that they have there, because America is huge. And that's something they don't understand. Like, they come over here and they're under the impression, we can go to Disney World and then, drive to Disneyland, like, next day. And it's like, come to New York and be in Disney World, like, in a couple hours. They don't comprehend the massive size. Like, countries like China and stuff, I think would understand that. But, like, Japan, like, I know in France, I had friends in France and stuff like that. They just didn't get, like, you can drive across their country in a few hours. In America, just one state could take that long, and they just don't understand that. So that's why we have cars and so many vehicles and things. We don't have the trains and the buses like we do, but you have to be in a city or centralized location. A lot of people don't live in cities; they live in the rural areas, and they don't have that access. You can't just bike everywhere in some of the country areas. Yeah,
somebody came over here, and I remember watching a video on YouTube, and they were from the UK, and they're like, I had no idea America was so big. Like,
it's huge. I can't explain to you how big
miles and miles of just empty space which is
Oh yeah,
weird.
if you're going some places out in the West, if you get gas when you can get gas, because I don't know when you're going to get it again. You know what I mean?
Oh, I drove cross country after I graduated high school, and I was like, my God, like I can't remember the last time I even saw a gas station.
Yeah,
I was like, what
I
is-
did too. After I graduated college, we drove cross country, and it was like, oh my gosh, this is like hours and hours and hours. And it'll say like 200 and some miles to the next gas station.
Yeah.
You're like, what?
And even here, like the average person drives, even living in Western Pennsylvania, most people drive like a half an hour to work. Like 15, 20 minutes at least. It's like you're not going to walk that. So that's why we have cars. Anyway, this person 28283 says, American Brothers, a new character has appeared. A wild Buc-ee has appeared. What kind of character is this? A supermarket character. And yeah, it's Buc-ee's. Let's see here. American Brothers. It's a mascot character, so it doesn't have a name. His name is Buc-ee. He is the saint of American convenience, says Artist Name Finish. He represents He represents clean bathrooms, walls of beef jerky, and brisket on the board. I'm not even American. I'm Canadian, and I know if the U.S. could put another person on Mount Rushmore, it would be Buc-ee.
Oh my God, I love it so much. I love the way it was worded. I love it.
So we're explaining Buc-ee's to the Japanese. See, this is good. This is a good thing.
Well, to go back a bit, because did you see the picture that was on the post before this?
Hold on.
Click back because look at that. I love that. I love that so much.
That's not our son, is it?
No.
I can't tell. Okay, because he's they're like I
That's
can't.
something that his friends would have done, but no.
Yeah, they drove to Florida and they hit like every freaking Buc-ee's on the way to Florida. We don't have one around here, but yes, they love Buc-ee's brisket. They brought me some jerky though, so that was pretty good. These guys are like, yeah, it's Buc-ee's. Pray to Buc-ee.
I mean, the bathrooms of Buc-ee's are bigger than most restaurants and stuff like that. It's just insane. It is. You go in there, you're thinking, I'll just go in for a minute. You'll be there for hours. At least that's my understanding.
The bronze statue over there. I want to go see it too. I want to go see it. That sounds
I'm
like
telling you, they're going to come over here just to go to Buc-ee's. And I can't fault them for that. Come on over and come to Buc-ee's. We welcome you with open arms.
Okay, this is an anime. A young Japanese girl
yes.
on a pilgrimage to America to find Buc-ee.
And then she meets Trump because Trump's huge in Japan too.
Yeah, that's a problem too. They like Trump. Yeah, they love
And
Trump.
then she runs into Trump on the way. And he gives her a ride to the Buc-ee's.
Man in Red says, I think you'll find it at every Buc-ee's. I've been to 2 locations. Both places had one large plaque, each with the name of the host inscribed on it. Yes, we don't have one in Pittsburgh. Get on that, Buc-ee.
We welcome you to come to check out Buc-ee's and other places that might have better barbecue. I mean, I never had Buc-ee's, so I can't speak to it. But I'm just saying, I know there's a lot of places that have amazing barbecue. So
anyway, there we go, guys.
By all means, come over and have some.
There you go.
So,
We gonna wrap it up?
yes.
Polly subscribe. We'll talk later.
Bye.